What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is June 18th, 2025, and it's 4:48 in the afternoon. The market is closed. It was an FOMC day, which is why today was a pleasant surprise. Usually on FOMC days, especially ones that there's no expected or even remotely possible surprise, the market tends to be pretty tame. The pre-market today looked like crap, looked like low volume garbage. So unfortunately, naturally, I went into the day assuming it was going to be a rough day. But we managed to find some great opportunities to the upside and the downside, more to the upside than the down, up until the time I got off the microphone. As always, we do the call put scenario, which I'll share with you. But before we get into that, you guys really should buy this book right here. It's outstanding. And if you do buy it, please leave a review on Amazon. I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to join our Discord community, I would love to have you. My door is always open, and the first week is completely free. You don't have to sign up for anything. Don't dig into your pocket, get any money, credit cards, nothing. Just show up. If it's your first time there, your week trial starts automatically. You don't have to do anything, okay? This way you don't have to remember to cancel anything if you choose to not stay, because then it becomes a big pain in the butt. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at our charts. Put line was below 530.15 on the Qs. We weren't looking for a very big move. We were only looking for about a 30-cent move to start. But that was our put line. Our call line was if we can get above 530.69. We'd be looking for 531. Not a difficult concept to follow. It's not hard to understand. And it's not something you have to play. You know, if it's too aggressive for you, then that's fine. I'm just looking for a break of support. I'm looking for help from ADD if possible. And I'm hoping it makes it down to the next support. It's really that simple. That's the way I play it. It's the way I feel comfortable. However, this morning, we breached the put line 1 minute before market opened. And, well, after the market opened, it shot straight down. So the people who got to win on that particular trade were my futures traders. Yes, guys, we have plenty of futures traders in our community. These levels work just as good for futures as they do for options. So if you're a futures trader wondering if our community works for you, it will. It will. We have both NQ futures traders and ES. It works all the same. All right. With that said, I missed my opportunity to get into that trade because, well, option ladder didn't update quick enough and blah, blah, blah. But it also created a little bit of FOMO for me. Now, I wasn't expecting today to be up or down or big moves in either direction, at least until 2 o'clock. So this was very surprising to me. As we closed below the put line, I kind of just jumped into puts because we were below my line. I wanted to at least get back down at this point to the orange line because of how much we pushed down on the first one. What made this trade very, very uncomfortable is number one, Qs was moving down, but not at the same pace that SPY was. And then ADD, after I got in, started to go in the other direction. So this was a little sketchy at first. And as we we closed below this line of support, I wanted to hold on to the next one, which both Qs and SPY landed on supports at the same time. And then I said, yeah, let's not outstay our welcome, tighten up your stop losses, which was a good suggestion because shortly after that, we took off to the upside, never to see that level again. At least while I was on the microphone. With that said, we did move up. Wasn't looking for calls yet, but then we put in a higher low at 942. I told everybody at 942 this could be a higher low. If that's the case, we're actually hoping for this thing to make it all the way up to our morning resistance here, just shy of our call line is exactly what I said. And as luck would have it, or statistics or whatever you want to call it, we got the pullback and that became a higher low and ADD started printing green, and that was a great entrance because it went straight to and through where we were hoping it was going to go. So if you didn't make money on puts this morning, which a lot of folks did because they were ready, and you got to make money on calls on the way up, Two potential exit situations right here. SPY, by the way, moved a hell of a lot more to the upside than Q's did. Now, my trade was only a 14.3% return. Not nearly as much as I hoped it would be, but that's because the move was a little bit smaller on SPY by the time we got in than it was on the Qs. But hey, it doesn't matter. It worked the opposite way to the upside. Qs moved a little bit, SPY moved a lot of it. It was a much cleaner move on SPY. With that said, we did break the call line, and some folks did jump into calls here. Now, that would have gotten you in on this candle here, okay? We didn't make it up to the next line of resistance. Now, how we normally would work this is if it falls back below the resistance we're trying to break, you got to stop out. So if you were quick or in the trade, you had the opportunity to get a small profit, but at least you could have gotten out at break even. Then we pulled back, couldn't hold support here, came down to the next support, okay, which is not that far off. We weren't looking for any trades at that point. Immediately started to recover back to the upside, got through this resistance, pulled back, recognized a higher low. Higher lows are bad for puts, good for calls. What are we expecting? We're expecting this thing to not only get through this resistance, but make it up to the next one. Now, in this situation, once again, we were running into a double line of resistance on SPY. It did pay well enough. So if you got in on this candle here, you got about a 30-cent move before it started to come back the other way, a little more closer to 40 actually. That still pays very well. But nonetheless, the market continued to buy up, which is the surprising part. Not that it went up, but that it moved this much by this time of the day to begin with. There is a lot going on out there, guys. We got FOMC day today, which is not really a catalyst today because there's no surprises. We're past that. And, inflation's down. The market is not expecting rate cuts anytime soon. So there's nothing for it to be pent up or worrying about and making crazy moves. But we have war going on, and I think that might play a role in a lot of people's biases one way or the other. So just be aware of that. Biases are never good, but they're hard to get rid of too. But we continue to put in higher lows, and ADD continued to push up. And then it kind of just flattened out and slowed down significantly. So there wasn't a whole lot to do during this stretch of sideways trading. And shortly after that, I was getting off the mic at 12 o'clock. So we walked away. Many people were done by now anyway, which is the case in my community. Not many of us trade all day long. If you do, that's awesome. Just know that there are things that change that work in the morning that work a lot less often in the afternoon, such as theta. Theta, if you're an options trader, is getting way worse as the day goes on, and therefore pullbacks later in the day hurt a lot more. So you can't get in the same way and hold the same way that we do in the morning without it feeling extra crunchy, if you know what I mean. Now, if you're going to do that and you can afford to, consider playing next day expirations or move your strikes into the money so that the pullbacks hurt a little bit less. If you were waiting to trade until 2 o'clock, what I like to tell people around that time is wherever the price is, come 2 o'clock, very often we will get back to that level, especially if there's no surprises when Jerome Powell opens his mouth. So we were at 2 o'clock. We were right here. At 530.69, basically our call line. Let's see where it reverted to by the end of the day. Well, not quite up that high, but it did its thing. It dropped, it ran up, it did all the stuff. Nothing burger. With that said, guys, it was FOMC day. Plus we have a holiday tomorrow, Juneteenth, so the markets are closed. I will be playing or streaming a movie for my Discord community members tomorrow, which is Goodfellas. Much to my surprise, a lot of people have never seen that movie, which boggles my mind because that's got to be a top 5 movie for sure. At least it is for me. But with that said, guys, if you found any useful information in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join my Discord community, give me a chance. Got new faces in here all the time. It's a great community, very supportive, no drama. And, we cover the charts and we find decent setups. And I teach you how to do this responsibly without overdoing it. Because like anything in life, if you overdo anything, it tends to turn into more harm than good. Trading is very much the case there. Just think of trading as a pool of sharks. The stock market's a pool of sharks. You might be able to jump in once and get out bite free, but you jump in enough times, eventually you're going to get bit. So please be careful out there. With that said, buy my book. It's right over here. Looks good. Links for that are in Amazon in the description below. And I hope you all had a fantastic day. Till Friday, I guess. I love you guys.